The greatest thing in the world is to know how to belong to oneself. But the second greatest thing is to know when you need others. Author Michel de Montaigne, 1533 to 1592. Have you ever witnessed a lone wolf on a moonlit ridge, standing proud and independent, his silhouette a symbol of raw strength and self-reliance? Meet Magnus, a wolf who embodied this very image in his vast wilderness. He was the hunter who never missed, the protector who never faltered, the one who could navigate the harshest winters alone. His pack admired his unwavering independence, his ability to provide without asking for anything in return. But Magnus carried a secret burden that even the brightest moon couldn't illuminate. While he could track prey through impossible terrain and defend his territory from any threat, there was something he couldn't conquer, the growing weight of silent struggles that pressed against his chest like stones. When younger wolves showed signs of fear or weakness, Magnus would demonstrate courage, share his hunting techniques, or tell them stories of legendary lone wolves. But when his own fears crept in during the long, cold nights, when doubt gnawed at him like persistent hunger, he would simply retreat deeper into the forest, carrying his pain in solitude. The unspoken law of Magnus's world was crystal clear. Lone wolves handle everything themselves. They don't show vulnerability when the hunt goes wrong, don't admit when the isolation becomes unbearable, don't reveal when the constant pressure to be strong becomes overwhelming. They are the embodiment of independence, the ones others look up to. So Magnus held his struggles close, like secrets too dangerous to speak. He'd square his shoulders, raise his head high, and tell himself, a true wolf endures alone. But keeping all that weight inside was like trying to contain a storm within his ribcage. The pressure, the relentless ache, had to find release somewhere. Sometimes Magnus would become distant during pack gatherings. A playful approach from a younger wolf might be met with an unexpected snap. The smallest challenge to his methods could trigger a disproportionate growl. He might isolate himself for days, staring at the horizon with hollow eyes, feeling an inexplicable emptiness despite being surrounded by his territory. He was there in body, but his spirit seemed to be hunting in some unreachable place. The other wolves began to notice the shift. Magnus seems more distant than usual, they would whisper among themselves. He's probably just focused on the harsh season ahead, someone might offer. They couldn't see the invisible battle raging within him, the silent howl of emotions trapped beneath his thick, protective fur. Magnus believed that if he let his guard down, if he showed any crack in his armor, he might shatter completely. He feared that his pack would see him as weak, that they would lose faith in the lone wolf they had always admired. One crisp evening, as frost painted the landscape silver, Magnus watched a young wolf named Echo struggling to catch a rabbit. Echo pursued it with determination, but stumbled over roots and lost the trail. Instead of getting up immediately, Echo sat down, let out a small, frustrated whimper, and looked around as if hoping someone might offer guidance. Magnus started toward him, ready to demonstrate the proper technique, to show him how a real wolf hunts alone. But then Echo did something unexpected. Echo lifted his muzzle toward the sky and let out a soft, honest howl. Not a call of triumph or territory, but a gentle sound that seemed to say, "I'm struggling and I could use some wisdom." The sound carried across the valley, and to Magnus's surprise, other wolves began to respond. Not with judgment or dismissal, but with their own gentle howls, acknowledgements, offers of companionship. Standing there, watching this exchange, Magnus felt something crack open inside his chest. For the first time, he saw that asking for support wasn't a sign of weakness. It was a different kind of strength. It was the courage to be honest, to be real, to trust that the pack's love was stronger than his fear of being seen as imperfect. That night, under a canopy of stars, Magnus made a choice that would change everything. He approached Echo, and instead of offering a hunting lesson, he sat beside the young wolf. In a voice barely above a whisper, Magnus shared something he had never told anyone. Even experienced wolves sometimes feel lost in the hunt, Echo. Sometimes the weight of always being strong becomes heavy. And tonight, watching you ask for help, I realized that maybe I've been hunting alone for too long. As the words left his muzzle, something extraordinary happened. The knot of isolation that had been tightening in Magnus's chest for so long began to loosen. It wasn't a dramatic transformation, but a gentle release, like the first thaw after a long winter. For the first time in years, Magnus felt truly seen, truly connected. From that evening forward, Magnus didn't stop being the skilled hunter, the wise protector. But he also learned to be something else, a wolf who understood that true strength sometimes looks like vulnerability, that real independence includes knowing when to seek connection. When the weight of leadership felt too heavy, he would share it with trusted pack members. When doubt crept in during difficult hunts, he would seek counsel rather than struggle alone. He discovered that his howl, when honest and authentic, could reach further than he had ever imagined. His pack, seeing this change, learned a profound lesson. They saw that even the strongest among them needed community, that asking for help wasn't a sign of failure, but a sign of wisdom. They learned that true wolves weren't those who never stumbled, but those who had the courage to reach out when they did. Echo, inspired by Magnus's honesty, grew into a wolf who balanced independence with connection. He learned that being part of a pack didn't mean losing his individual strength. It meant amplifying it through authentic relationships. If you, or a lone wolf you know, has been carrying burdens in silence, remember Magnus. Remember that your howl, your honest call for connection, support, or simply understanding is not a sign of weakness. It's a beacon that can guide others out of their own darkness and guide help toward you. The strongest wolves are not those who never need the pack. They are those who understand that true strength is knowing when to hunt alone and when to run together. Your struggles are valid. Your need for connection is natural. Your courage to reach out is the very thing that makes you not just a survivor, but a leader. Because even the most independent lone wolves deserve to know they're never truly alone in the wilderness of life. Subscribe to the channel for more wisdom from the Savanna of the mind and discover the strength that comes from authentic connection.